and welcome to Take Time. I'm your host Patrick Marlett, and today let's talk about the spring-made strap. There are two new watch strap brands that are currently on the rise, the first being the Watch Stewart and the second being spring-made. The latter being a new take on the more traditional nylon-based strap. By omitting any strap holes and utilizing a custom-made buckle, you are able to secure these single-pass straps to your 20 or 22 millimeter lug width watch. Now, while the new design is extremely sleek and thoroughly modern, it isn't without flaw. As with all my reviews, I like to start with the bad and then move on to the good before giving my final verdict on a review item. So let's talk spring-made. Length. Length is a very real issue here. Now, Austin has been made abundantly aware of this issue since his first batch rolled out, but I do need to remark on it today as it is still an issue with his current batch of straps. These straps run 10 3/4 inches in length, or roughly 273 millimeters in total length, which is going to be a very real issue if you have a larger wrist. Even for me at 7 1/4 inches, this is problematic. It just barely fits through both of the keepers with not enough room for the tongue of the strap to curl back under. And I've heard reports from other consumers having to remove the secondary keeper as the strap wasn't even long enough to go through it. Austin tells me he's soon to release a longer version of the spring-made strap for those of us who have larger wrists. So if you have a 7.5 inch wrist diameter, I would definitely recommend you holding off on purchasing one of these until there is a longer length made available. Also, variety is a bit of a letdown here. Currently, we only have one length, 2 strap widths, and 3 color options available for the spring-made strap. That being the gray you see here, black, as well as navy blue. For most folks, I'll say those 3 colors are likely to tide them over, but if you're more adventurous with your taste, this isn't going to satisfy you. However, just like the strap length, Austin has informed me, and if you go to his website, you'll also find out that there are 2 new colors slated to release very soon, both green and bond, or black with gray striping. Those 2 new colors are really going to shape up the current collection and provide a wider range of options for consumers. And as you guys know, I love options, particularly when it comes to my accessories. So with both of my only real issues being addressed already, there's a whole lot of good to state about the spring-made strap. Apparently, these bands can handle over 900 pounds of force without breaking. So in other words, it's durable, but imagine if you could put that much force on it. I gotta know what spring-made users are doing with these straps. With claims like that, this needs a testimonial page showing this durability off. I really love the custom buckle here and locking system a lot, actually. It's very similar to that of a Perlon's buckle, aside from the buckle missing the prong to hold the strap in place. I'm not gonna lie, it can be a little tricky securing your strap in place on this buckle system, but once you get accustomed to it, it's actually quite easy. Now I'll go ahead and illustrate how it's done for you guys here. You'll notice I just passed it through that first hole in the buckle. You'll slide it straight through the back end and through your keepers. The gray colorway for this nylon strap, which by the way is only a little over 1 millimeter thick, is excellent for everyday use. I love thin single pass strap options, and this color has paired so well with my overall collection, though it's mostly lived on that Christopher Ward Trident Pro back there. Now I'm going to provide you all with a wrist shot so you can see what the strap will look like on a 7 1/4 inch wrist. And by the way, if you don't know, the Christopher Ward Trident Pro in 38 millimeters has a 20 millimeter lug width. So we are looking at a 20 millimeter width strap. I have to say, this has been one of my favorite go-to straps as of late. Despite the length not being to my liking, it does wear extremely well on the wrist. And I was just talking about how easy this is to get on. It does require a little bit of concentration, particularly when you're trying to get the strap through the back end of the buckle, as it does have a tendency to lose, or rather slacken, as you push it through, but I found that if you hug it tight against the wrist and sort of use the buckle right here, you see that? The buckle end here to hold this part of the strap down, it won't slide away and slacken on your wrist. So this is actually a really nice snug fit for the watch. I've got a good fingers amount of distance between me and my watch strap, so it's good and breathable. Here is what the watch and strap will look like on a 7¼ inch wrist for all of your admirers. And when you are going to admire it, it's going to look a little something like this. And here is my Christopher Ward Trident Pro in bronze on a 7¼ inch wrist with the spring made. And I can probably better illustrate what I was talking about a second ago. You'll notice that it has somewhat of a pointed edge here. You can push this end against the part of the strap that's going to be resting on the back end of your watch, or rather the bottom of your watch. So when you do that, it won't allow the strap to slacken on your wrist as you're pushing it through those two keepers, which I found to be the only real issue with this. Sometimes when you get it set on the wrist, it'll be just a little too loose, but once you've developed that technique of holding it down while pushing the remainder of the strap through, it's actually quite easy to set up. And again, I actually like the fit of it right now. I've never had this strap loosen up in day-to-day use, if that's going to be a question of yours. It hasn't come undone and or loosened in any way. And overall, it looks really smashing with this watch in my opinion. However, I would prefer that there be just a little bit more room for this tongue to tuck under the strap, and there's obviously a few ways you can accomplish this. If you wanted to, you can have this go over the top of the secondary keeper and through this end, and that's actually normally what I do. I like how clean this look is as opposed to just having the tongue stick out at the end, although I would prefer a much longer length so I can double it over and put it through these two keepers in reverse like so, and you can see how this is just a little bit problematic now. There's not that much room to do this, but what I prefer to do with my nylons is have it double back and go through both of these keepers. Now, you can't purchase these straps via the online resource yet. You're actually redirected to an Amazon sales page. It'd be nice to see an official website in the near future for these spring-made straps with a web store available. But for now, if you wanted one of these spring-made straps, they're going to run you about $25, which to me is not that much for a high-quality nylon strap, which is precisely what this is. It is a well-made, well-wearing, sleek nylon option compared to the typical nylon strap. Thank you, Austin, for sending this strap my way. I cannot wait to see how you develop the brand and the new product ranges you introduce from here on out. With the introduction of new colors as well as a short and long length strap, I think most consumers are going to be very happy with this product. Austin, you did a really great job here. I'm a huge fan. Let me know when you start producing these in neon yellow and some other outrageous colors. But until then, if you found this video enlightening or in the least entertaining, feel free to hit that like button. It looks a whole heck of a lot like this guy. If you have friends, forums, or groups that are interested in picking up the spring-made strap and want to get another consumer's opinion on the item, feel free to share this video with them first, particularly if they have larger wrist. Again, I'd recommend you holding off on purchasing one of these for now. I know it's very tempting. They're a really well-made strap, but if you have a wrist that's over 7½ inches in diameter, I highly recommend you wait till there be a longer length made for you. It's just gonna wear better. Also, if you're new to the channel, welcome. I do videos like this 2 or more times a week, so if watch content is your thing, feel free to hit that subscribe button. And while you're down there, if you wanna see my videos precisely when they air, you can slam that bell icon just next to that. Again, my name is Patrick Marlett, and thank you for the time.